is Monday, October the 3rd. This is the Planning and Zoning Committee. I'll do a quick rundown of attendance. I see, obviously, I'm present. Councilmember Bradford is present. Councilmember Gamble is present. Vice Chair Rutherford is present. Councilmember Toombs has joined us, and Councilmember Welsh. That gives us a quorum. So I will go ahead and get started. We have a few things that have been pulled off of consent because there is a substitute, and those are items number 3, which is Ordinance Bill 2022-1451, which pertains to Hickory Hollow Parkway, the Vanderbilt property. Also, item number 4, which is BL 2022-1452, also has a substitute and will be off of consent. And then for item number 20, we do have. For item number 20, we have an amendment. This is Ordinance Bill 2022-1400. We do have an amendment that is offered by Councilmember Rosenberg, and we have a letter for that, but I'll leave that also off of the consent agenda. Does anything else need to be pulled from consent? I see Councilmember O'Connell's joined.
That's me too.
Councilmember Toombs? Councilmember Toombs, I see you've got some manhole and sewer easements and things like that. I think you have some items that are on public hearing that we may have had correspondence about, but I don't believe it's any of these items.
Okay.
You're good? Okay, thank you. Any other members have anything that needs to come off consent? All right, well, I'll go ahead and start reading the captions. So, item number 1, Resolution RS 2022-1799. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Roten, Withers, and others. Authorizes Metro government by way of Metro Water to enter into a utility relocation contract number 9272 with TDOT to construct project number 124238.00 along State Route 1, which is Broadway, for the bridge over the CSX Railroad on 11th Avenue, located here in Nashville. That is on consent for approval. Item number 2, Resolution RS 2022-1800. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Roten, Withers, and others. Authorizes Metro government acting by and through Metro Water and Sewerage Services for a utility relocation contract 9273 with TDOT for project number 124238.00, also for the Broadway Bridge over CSX Railroad tracks at 11th Avenue. Moving on to ordinances on second reading, we have item number 5, Ordinance Bill 2022-1453. The sponsors are Councilmembers Murphy, Roten, Withers, and Poley. Authorizes granting of a permanent easement to Piedmont Natural Gas on certain property owned by Metro government located at 4601 Murphy Road. Item number 6, Ordinance Bill 2022-1454. The sponsors are Councilmembers Roten, Withers, Hurt, and others. Authorizes granting 2 permanent easements to Harpeth Valley Utilities District on certain property owned by Metro government in Davidson County. Item number 7, Ordinance Bill 2022-1455. The sponsors are Councilmembers Welsh, Withers, and Pulley. Amends the Geographic Information System Street and Alley Centerline Layer map for Metro government by abandoning a portion of Whitsett Road right-of-way. Item number 8, Ordinance Bill 2022-1456. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Withers, and Poley. Amends the Geographic Information System Street and Alley Centerline Layer for Metro government by abandoning a portion of alley number 456 right away from alley number 442 southwestward to the dead end. Item number 9, Ordinance Bill 2022-1457. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Roten, Withers, and others. Authorizes the abandonment and conveyance of Metro government's interest in Alley 68 in downtown Nashville and approving an easement and agreement providing for Metro government's use of certain space and improvements to be constructed in the former alley. Item number 10, BL 2022-1458. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes 915 Division Manager LLC to install, construct, and maintain underground encroachments in the right-of-way located at 915 Division Street. Item number 11, Ordinance Bill 2022-1459. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government to abandon easement rights for property located at 630 Davidson Street, formerly a portion of alley number 200. Item number 12, Ordinance Bill 2022-1460. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government to abandon easement rights for property located at 1000 Church Street, formerly a portion of alley number 121. Item number 13, Ordinance Bill 2022-1461. The sponsors are Councilmembers O'Connell, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government to abandon an existing public utility easement for property located at 1000 Hawkins Street. Item number 14, Resolution RS 2022-1462. The sponsors are Councilmembers Toombs, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government to abandon existing water main and easement and to accept new water and sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assemblies, check valve assembly, don't always hear that one, sanitary sewer manholes and easements for property located at 3720 Clarksville Pike. Item number 15, Ordinance Bill 2022-1463. The sponsors are Councilmembers Sledge, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government to abandon existing public sanitary sewer mains, sanitary sewer manhole, and easements for property located at 451 Murfreesboro Pike, also known as Alto Apartments. Item number 16, Ordinance Bill 2022-1464. The sponsors are Councilmembers Toombs, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government to accept public fire hydrant assembly and public sanitary sewer manhole for 3 properties located at 2000, 2004, and 2006 South Hamilton Road, also known as South Hamilton Townhomes. Item number 17, Ordinance Bill 2022-1465. The sponsors are Councilmembers Sledge, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government of Nashville and Davidson County to accept new fire hydrant assembly and public sanitary sewer manholes for property located at 1414 4th Avenue South. Item number 18, Ordinance Bill 2022-1466. The sponsors are Councilmembers Withers and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government to abandon existing water main and easement to relocate fire hydrant assemblies and to accept new public water and sanitary sewer mains, fire hydrant assemblies, sanitary sewer manholes, and easements for property located at Ashland City Highway unnumbered, also known as Eden Creek Commons Phase 1. And then the last item on our consent calendar is item number 19, Ordinance Bill 2022-1467. The sponsors are Councilmembers Taylor, Withers, and Pulley. Authorizes Metro government to accept new public sanitary sewer mains, sanitary sewer manholes, and easement for property located at 3021 Charlotte Avenue, also known as Haven at Charlotte. Is there any discussion on any of these items? If not, I'll go to Vice Chair Rutherford for a motion.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I move approval of the consent agenda.
Thank you so much. That motion is properly made and seconded. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, no. Any abstentions? Great. So now we will go to items that were not on consent. Would it be okay to take these two together, or should I take them separately? Separately. We will begin with item number 3, ordinances on second reading. This is ordinance number BL 2022-1451. The sponsors are Councilmembers Stiles, Roten, and Withers. Approves a license agreement between Metro government and Vanderbilt University for use of office space and parking spots located at 5224 Hickory Hollow Parkway, Nashville, Tennessee. We do have a substitute. Could I get a motion on the substitute? We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on the substitute? Any questions about the ordinance overall or whatnot? I'll go to Councilmember Gamble.
Thank you, Chair. Can we get a explanation of what the substitute is?
Absolutely. Go to Council.
The substitute is a housekeeping amendment. In the caption, it corrects the address. The number of the street was 5224, and it should have been 5244.
Any other questions, Councilmember Gamble? Any other questions from committee members or any of those present? For the substitute, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Could I now get a motion on the bill as substituted? It's properly moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great. So that one is taken care of. Now we will go to the next item, which is item number 4, ordinance number BL 2022-1452. The sponsors are Councilmember Stiles, Roten, and Withers. Approves a license agreement between Metro government by and through the Department of General Services and the Salvation Army for use of storage space located at 5224 Hickory Hollow Parkway. Could I get a motion on the substitute, please? Is there a second? All right, so that has been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the substitute, or for that matter, on the bill on this one? Ms. Darby, is it similar?
This is the exact same housekeeping amendment.
Okay. Any other discussion on the substitute? We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Could I now get a motion on the bill as substituted? It's moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, we are making good time. Our final item on our agenda is item number 20, Ordinance Bill 2022-1400. The sponsor is Councilmember Rosenberg, who has given us a letter. This amends the Metro zoning ordinance by changing from RS40 to SP zoning for property located at 8033 Highway 100, approximately 95 feet west of Temple Road and within the Highway 100 urban design overlay, encompassing 9.07 acres to permit certain uses in MULA zoning, all of which is described herein. Could I maybe call on legal counsel or planning to, we'll go to the planning desk for discussion of the substitute.
So this amendment just adds two things. The first is it prohibits several uses from the SP, including kennel, assisted living, car wash, grocery store, satellite dish. And then it also will add a new condition to require a 20-foot wide easement for a greenway with the final SP as coordinated with Metro Parks.
Wonderful. Any questions about the substitute? Could I get a motion on the substitute, please? It's moved and properly seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Could I now get a, was there any discussion on that? Could I now get a motion on the bill as substituted? Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. Well, thank you, everyone. I believe that concludes the business of the Planning and Zoning Committee. So we are a little bit ahead of schedule. So thank you, everyone.